Hello, my Geminis. Thank you so much for being here with me. My name is Ajwa. I'm glad you're here for your confusion and indecision reading. So, let's get right in it, Geminis. It looks like, my Geminis, it looks like you're confused about your own power, okay? Sometimes you don't know which one is your intuition and which one is just whatever, your conscious mind playing with you. You are unable to distinguish between your intuitive mind and your conscious mind. So that also makes you feel like you don't know what to do. Okay? You don't know what direction to take. You feel indecisive because of this confusion. Because when you go to try to figure out to make a decision, it looks like you hear too many things going on in your head and you're like, oh my God, what do I do? What is my intuition trying to tell me? Okay? And you don't understand it. So that makes you a confused person. You know, because you're hearing all the voices at once. So I feel like it's a matter of getting into some sort of spiritual practice that allows you to develop your intuition, which is developing your higher self to the point that you are able to tell when your higher self is coming through. You can start a simple practice by just every day choose to ask yourself one question, okay? This is one of the simplest exercises you can do to learn to trust your own intuition. Ask yourself something that maybe you don't know anything about, a subject that you don't know anything about. You go to sit down, you take your deep breaths, and then you ask yourself, okay, some question. I was just about to daydream there. And then practice listening to the answer. The first thing that comes to your mind, write it down. Do that for a while. And then when you write the answer down, do research and find if what the answer you got is correct or not. So find something that you can actually research and find solutions to. Okay? If you do this, you will naturally develop a communication channel between you and your higher self. And don't ever change the process. Always, if you're going to pick the first answer, always stick with the first answer. If you're going to pick the second answer, stick with the second, third, whatever. But never change it. Stick with that and don't let anybody change your mind about that. So for the rest of your life, you're going to learn this habit and you're going to use it to make a decision. Okay? That is just the simplest thing you can do if you're not spiritually inclined in the higher form where you actually know your own voice. I feel this is a very basic thing that you can do to develop your intuition and the habit of listening to yourself, you know, and allowing your higher self to guide you. So that is the confusion there, okay, that you don't know what to do, you know. And the indecision comes in with the idea that because you don't really understand what you're doing and which path to go, you tend to feel like you're failing, you know, like you fail at everything and you give up and you're like, well, I can't do this, you know, you throw the towel in. You're like, whatever. Or some of you end up self-sacrificing because you just cannot bring yourself to make the decision that you feel is right for you. So self-sacrifice is in there, or you just give up and you have the hangman, you want the universe to take the seat, and you're like, you feel powerless, you know. You're like, okay, I'll just go with the flow and see what happens. And so your fate gets decided by the circumstances surrounding you, you know. And I guess you get away with thinking that spirit is going to do what it's going to do, the universe is going to do what it's going to do. But you are the boss here. You are the god and the goddess here. You have to take charge of your mind and your life, and then the universe plays to your tune, because you're the one that's creating your world. So that's what you need to understand here. All right. And so that's pretty much it that I have when it comes to the indecision and the confusion that you're going through. And the spirits are saying the solution to this is for you to reinvent yourself, to open yourself to changing the way you've always done things. Because they believe that you have a brilliance, mind, and so much that you can share with the world. And so it's time for you to embrace this powerful aspect of you. Allow yourself to change and be reborn into this new person that is capable of taking charge of your mind. That only happens through spiritual awakening, but it can also be developed. There's a lot of people that have developed their intuition without actually going through a spiritual process, and people tend to mix both because they've opened up their intuition and they have some sort of communication. They're also mistaking it for spiritual awakening. But there's a way you can do this without having to go through a whole, spiritual awakening, my Geminis. So that's what the spirits are saying. Reinvent yourself. Get to know you. Allow yourself to transform to being this person that you need to be by practically sitting there and going through a change within your mind and saying to yourself what you're going to do, taking charge of your life and all the things that I've also already explained, because I don't want to go over the same information over and over again for you. And they also want you to love every aspect of the change and everything that you need to go through. Okay? All the steps that's going to take you to you taking charge of your thinking and your intuition and trusting in your intuition. Enjoy this journey and you will feel so much better, is what they're saying. All right, so thank you so much, my Geminis. I will see you next month. Bye.
Have you taken the time out to follow my Instagrams?